Sixth grade was so rough. I changed my name to Devin Lacecock. I pretended to be blind for a whole year to elicit empathy. It got so bad my parents had to refinance our house to afford to put me in private school. Welcome in to the Bro 4 Squad podcast. This is episode 72, and we're just a bunch of bros drinking beer and talking movies. Thank you guys for checking us out. Fun-filled episode today. I'm your host, Jeff Hornacek. Before we can get started with all the movie conversation, we have to go around and meet the fellow bros. First, we go into the lab to the mad scientist, Brian Banner. Banner, can you please stop sending me these bullshit fantasy baseball trades? I'm not trading you 12 players for 12 players.
It's a good trade. I'm just saying. It's a good
trade.
But
you're just asking to trade our entire rosters.
It's a good deal.
Actually, you know what? We would keep like 3 guys, so I guess it's not.
It's a good deal.
What if we actually did that? How much would that piss off the league?
I mean, honestly, I think they would be in such shock that it actually happened. I don't think it would matter. But I would immediately regret it, and then we would do a second 12-man trade.
Someone would think that one of us stole the other person's password and logged in.
How do you know I haven't?
I just trust you. I don't know. Just something. I get a good vibe.
Hacking.
Okay, and next we go into the paint to our enforcer, Matt Geiger. Matt, I'm starting a competitive bowling league, and I need a team for it, and I heard you bowl with a wrist guard, which means you don't fuck around. Do you want in?
Yeah, man, I'm always in for anything that's really hard on the outside, but I can easily stick 3 fingers in. So, yeah, just count me in.
Wow, that was good.
Damn.
God, that was good.
Because sex.
Was pausing for applause. Didn't get it. Okay.
Can we edit in?
Just like last week, Geiger, I try and hate you every week. You make it really hard.
Yeah, guys, go check out episode 71. I hate to compliment him, but it was one of Geiger's best pod performances.
He was feeling it.
It'll definitely be on my highlight reel whenever I retire from this shitty podcast and start my own.
It was like that year that Brady Anderson hit 50 fucking home runs. He was just letting the ball get deep. That was you last episode.
He's also on steroids.
What?
Again,
bite your fucking tongue.
Again,
Prove it.
You on last episode.
Prove it. Where's the piss sample that you need to have? All right. Well, if you have listened to our show before, or if you have not, then we start every episode off with the most important thing in any bro's life, and that is chess day. And this chess day is taking us to a galaxy far, far away. So this small independent film called Star Wars Episode 9 is coming out in December, and Star Wars Celebration was this past week, and there was finally our first look at footage and the much anticipated title reveal. As a pod here, we are fucking massive Star Wars fans. Check out both our Star Wars Movie Madness tournament from last year, where we put all the Star Wars films in a bracket and had them battle to see who the best one is, and then of course check out our Star Wars movie commentaries on our YouTube channel. But unfortunately, for the first time in our lives, we did not particularly enjoy our trip to the galaxy far, far away with Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi. But now that we have the title for Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, and the first trailer for the movie that director J.J. Abrams says will conclude the 9-film arc of the Skywalker saga, set up originally with A New Hope and, of course, the prequels, we got to talk about it. So let's just go raw thoughts first, and then I have a couple questions that I think will really get us going. So Geiger, we'll just go to you first. The title reveal, and I know we don't really do trailer reactions on this pod, but anything from what was shown in the trailer that really jumped out to you?
So the title, I really don't care about films' titles.
I don't either.
Some people just get really upset about it. You could call it Star Wars fuck you, go see it. And I'll be like, that okay.
Actually, that would be fucking awesome.
That actually would make me want to see it more.
I just contradicted myself. I'd see that movie more than any of the others. So, but the whole Skywalker thing. Obviously, people are like, "Well, Luke's dead. What does that mean?" Obviously, they're gonna show you that, so you just need to kind of slow your roll and chill. With the trailer, I thought the trailer looked fantastic. I really did. But I love J.J. Abrams' first adaptation in The Force Awakens. I'm a big J.J. Abrams fan, although I'll be honest that he knows how to open, but he could not close the door to save his life, which kind of scares me that he's closing out this franchise. And the fact that Rian Johnson didn't really give him much to work with after the second one. I'm just going to say this we don't get into trailer reactions, especially when they're teasers, but I think this movie is going to be good. It might even be great. The problem is I think they're just going to just totally not even pay attention to The Last Jedi and just kind of go off and make their own movie. But the reason that people are going to hate it, because in canon, when you watch the 3 movies in a row, they will not make fucking sense. If you watch The Force Awakens, then The Rise of Skywalker, I guarantee those 2 are going to be good movies. But the problem is Rian Johnson's shit mess in the center. Unless that was a plan all along, which I really just don't think that's true. I think that he just sits on it. And Abrams is like, okay, I saw this movie. I really didn't like it. So I'm just going to basically do my idea from the beginning. And it's probably not going to make a lot of sense, but I'm just here to make a good movie. I think that's what he's going to do. I just don't think it's not going to be like an Avengers movie or the Dark Knight series where you can watch them one after another. Be like, this all makes sense. This goes together. There might be some actors switching or something like that. But other than that, I think it'll be a good movie. I just don't think it's going to make sense in all the trilogy.
So some of the quotes that I read from JJ, he was kind of the mindset of, it seemed like, what do you want me to do with this? When Kathleen Kennedy came to him. One thing that does give me hope, he hired Chris Terrio to write it with him, who wrote Argo. And he actually won an Academy Award, I believe, for his writing on that. So if they got those 2 to come together and they had an idea, and I agree with you, man, they may have to... There's just nothing Rian Johnson left for them to do. Like, I don't know how the fuck it's obligatory to make an episode 9. I just don't know where you take the story from there. So I think JJ was like, what do you want me to, unless I change something he did, because all the major through lines he stamped out. Like, I don't know what to do here. But in brief summation, I am very excited by the trailer. I'll get to one of my questions here in a second, but
okay, are we going to talk about the Emperor later?
I have a question about that. But,
okay, all right.
So Banner, I'll let you go first because I wrote these down. I'm a school teacher, and my kids did some self-guided work today while I wrote these down because I was a little preoccupied. But
Did
Banner,
you just show him Endgame?
That was Infinity War. God.
Oh, my bad.
By the way, thanks for not responding to my text. I thought you guys would love that, but whatever. That's back when I thought we were friends. We're just work partners now. We're not friends. Okay.
Yeah, we don't get along off pod at all. Yeah, so here's my thing. I try not to pay attention to titles very much. I'm really bad at it though. Like, the title has to mean something to me, and especially in the Star Wars movies, they've always meant something. A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, all of them, even going into the prequels. So I heard the title Rise of Skywalker before I saw the trailer. I was already fucking out. Like, Rian Johnson fucked Star Wars for me, fucked all of this for me. Like, look, I don't really want to come back, but I mean, maybe if I'm drunk enough. Then you give me the title, nah, like, that just sounds stupid. I'm not interested. Who the fuck are we going to have as Skywalker? Is it Kylo Ren? Is it fucking Rey? Is she somehow going to be a Skywalker? Is it that fucking kid with the broom at the end of last...
I think the kid at the broom at the end is Luke's kid, I think. Somehow. Yeah. They're going to do Ben Skywalker in the books, but whatever the fuck they're going to call him in this.
Yeah.
Will he go into the family business of running a Tachi power converter station?
Don't know.
Maybe. Then I saw the trailer, and visually, JJ does things that nobody else can do. He's amazing at it. But I'm sorry, when you have Rey, who has had next to no training, going up against a fucking TIE fighter, and I'm supposed to believe she can Jedi, judo, ninja kick, slice this thing, and be fine. No, get the fuck out of here.
But the problem with scenes like that is you don't have any context.
Exactly.
So
look, I say all this. I'm going to be there fucking opening day. I just don't give that scene to me with no context. I would rather not see it and see it for the first time in the movie.
I guess, but I think a lot of people see Rey flip over a TIE fighter and they go, that's badass.
I got another question for you guys. Has anyone... So, Force Awakens, I could tell you exactly. I have not seen The Last Jedi until I saw it that one time in theaters. And it's on Netflix. And trust me,
we did a commentary on it. You're lying.
No, I wasn't
He wasn't on it.
Really?
Yeah. You
protest?
guys even said that. I said, I do not remember that at all. But I haven't even seen... I could tell you the 2 things that pissed me off, but other than that, I couldn't even tell you if Rey has a training... I know she went to Luke's training thing because he drank the blue milk or whatever, but I don't remember a fucking thing from that movie. It's kind of like, whenever... it's just something you try to take out of your mind.
It's like when you fuck that fat chick.
The opening scene where Poe Dameron acted like he couldn't hear General Hux on the phone, and it was fucking hilarious.
I kind of remember some of that, but I haven't even seen... And isn't that bad, a Star Wars movie I haven't re-seen? I remember Rogue One I watched like 4 times in 4 months. Watched it like once a month for
Especially
a while.
when it's on Netflix. It's so,
All right, so it sounds
readily, easily available.
I didn't know the Last Jedi was on Netflix, actually. I'm surprised because Disney Plus is so close. I figured they'd start to, like when you're about to break
It
up
was
with
a
your
couple months
girlfriend.
back. It was on Netflix.
I was gonna say when you're about to break up with somebody and you like start hanging out with them less and less, so that they'll fucking, so maybe just sort of drift away on their own.
Maybe you get the hint.
Yeah, that's been done to me a couple times. Rachel, just answer one text message; it won't kill you. So it sounds like 2 out of 3 on the pod are very excited about this, and I know Cycly is force ghosting us in. Ronnie Cycly, our legal counsel, and he is excited. So I have a couple questions here. The Palpatine return. Are you excited about? I mean, they teased him obviously with the laugh about a possible Palpatine return, or him somehow possibly just being connected to one of these characters, which was another way that I took that.
Okay, I'll go first. Can I go first?
Yes.
Because this is strictly, as a WWE fan, this is basically like when Vince McMahon has a shitty pay-per-view and he's just like, just call The Undertaker. What's he doing? Maybe we can get him to come like wrestle a fucking match. I think they're just throwing him in here because they know how bad The Last Jedi sucks. They're like, maybe if we have a Palpatine laugh at the end of this and we have him in this somehow. I really strongly do not believe at the very beginning when they were first thinking about The Force Awakens that they thought that they were going to have him in the third. I don't think they'd make the same mistake that they did in the prequels where they had a great villain in Darth Maul and just killed him off at the first one. And Snoke was actually gaining steam, man. Everyone was, after the first one, everyone was like, dude, who is this guy? We want to know more about him. And you just kill us off and don't even tell us anything about him. This is just a throw-in to try to get people to come. I highly doubt this was always planned for this story.
So another cool thing at Star Wars Celebration, Ian McDiarmid, who plays the Emperor, by the way, Ian, this pod is a huge fan of yours. Absolutely. I know he's listening. He came out on stage, and the crowd was like, ah! If I were there, I'd be like, do the no. So he showed up. So I don't know if he's coming back or not, but Banner, what were your thoughts? Obviously, we don't know his connection to the movie, but something, right? Whether he shows up as a ghost, whether he's somehow still alive, or whether someone is related to him, there is going to be, you would imagine, some Palpatine tie-in in this film, right?
I think there's got to be the tie-in, whether he's directly in it or not. I mean, if you believe in the whole Darth Plagueis story and all of that, like, you could convince me that they could bring him back somehow. I don't know how, but you could convince me of it. Just by the fact that he was at the Star Wars Celebration makes me think he's going to be in this movie, even if it's as a Sith ghost. If that's a thing, they can make it a thing. They should. Another thought, real quick, while I thought about it. That makes sense, Brian. Good job.
Very well done.
Rise of Skywalker. The only way that I think that title will mean anything or be cool is if somehow Anakin and or Vader come back in any capacity.
You can't, dude. That ended so perfectly, right?
But you fucking throw away the Emperor so that if the Emperor comes back, then Anakin Vader's death means nothing. That's
right.
He sacrificed himself to kill the Emperor and save the Empire. So
yeah, but I think that was more about his Luke seeing the good in him and him fully realizing that the Emperor's just like a vessel to display that. Vader's journey isn't minimized or completely washed away by the Emperor coming back, because his act of trying to kill him for Luke, I think, was the whole point of his arc. That's just how I see it.
The only other thing is if in Luke's training post Return of the Jedi and all of that, and he's this crazy great Jedi master guy, he somehow, yes, he dies, but somehow he comes back in some capacity. I don't know.
After him fighting,
I'm trying to want to see this movie. I really am.
One of the other problems with Rian Johnson's film, among many in my opinion, and guys, I take no pleasure in not liking that movie. I know some people love to hate on shit. That's really not our stance. But one of the problems is he took 2 liberties with the Force that we've never seen before, like Leia sucking herself back into a spaceship.
I don't even want to talk about that.
And then Luke making himself a hologram to fight Kylo Ren. So now it's almost well, shit. I mean, what can't the Force do? You just pulled that out of your ass. 8 movies in. Like who knows what's possible, I guess. I hope that JJ looked at that and kind of rolled his eyes and was like, I'm not going to do that or take it a step further, but who knows.
Well, you
One
can't say
other-
Star Wars fans hate everything, too. I'll read this because they're like, oh, they hated The Force Awakens because it was too much like A New Hope. And then they hated The Last Jedi because it was nothing like Star Wars movies. Actually, those are two different types of fans. I really liked The Force Awakens. I thought it was very good. I mean, is it like A New Hope? Yeah, but is like fucking, a mobster movie like, I don't know,
Gangster
one mobster movie like another one? Yeah, they're good fucking movies. You got to, stay inside the same realm. Rian Johnson's was basically like, oh, nothing means anything. Everything on Star Wars is always built up to something, and he just shit on everything. That's why we hate it.
All right, another quick one I had. Banner, we'll go to you first. Are you okay with them showing Palpatine in the trailers, or was that something you would have liked to see? Now, obviously, it's tough to answer because we don't know what it is. But do you think that was kind of like Geiger was saying, all right, how do we fucking get people, like promise people there'll be something in here and a character they like? Do you think it was desperate, or do you think it was just kind of like a cool nod to the fans? And obviously we have to judge this without knowing what it actually is.
Okay, so to answer this question, we have to assume Palpatine is going to be in the movie in some capacity. Whether it's a flashback, he is in the movie. We're going to assume.
If he's not in it at all, then I think it's pretty fucked up.
Right. And I honestly think he's going to be in it somehow. So with that being said, between now and when is it, December when it comes out? Was that 8 months?
Christmas, yeah.
Christmas, 8 months. I don't want to see or hear anything about Palpatine, any of the marketing material, any of the trailers, nothing. I want the only thing that we get is that laugh after the first trailer. Because honestly, that would make me more excited, because then I'm like, wait a minute, he was in the first trailer. Why are they not showing me more? Where's he at? Then I'm going to start to question, is he actually in it? And then when he comes in, I'm going to be excited.
Yeah, I've said this all along. They just need to market it like they did Endgame, where they only show us stuff from like the first 10 minutes of the movie, or 20 minutes, and really like one quick, like Endgame, we've seen nothing from any of the action set pieces. Star Wars, you don't need to fucking sell anyone.
There's going to be a lightsaber fight.
Just tell us the date. That's what sells it, right? Tell me when I need to buy my fucking ticket. Geiger, how about you?
I disagree with what you just said, and this is why.
Really?
Because Star Wars used to not give you anything. They used to not give you anything. Like in Star Wars more, you just go see it, you'll figure it out. But I think after Last Jedi, they're going to be like, dude, we got to market this shit, because especially after Solo, like, I don't know if people are going to see it. They're kind of onto our game that we're not making these movies as good as they thought they were. I think they're going to market the shit out of Palpatine. I'm not saying it's going to be right or wrong. I think they're going to market the shit out of him. And Banner, if they bring him back just for flashback scenes, everyone's going to be really pissed off. That'd be like having a Batman movie with me and like Red Hood's in it. I'm like, dude, it was all flashback scenes. It didn't have to do with the story. He's going to be in it somehow, and I think they're going to market the shit out of him, because they just had a loss with Solo. They have to hit on this movie, and not everyone, the majority, I don't care what you said, if there's plans or whatever, the majority of people did not like The Last Jedi. So I think they're going to market the shit out of him.
I don't think they lost with Solo.
I was going to say, that's where we kind of disagree again. Banner and I love Solo. Check out our movie.
No,
I like Solo pleasure too. But most people did not like The Last Jedi, and Solo did not do well at the box office. For their expectations, it did not. So they're going to market this hard. I really think they are.
Yeah, good point. All right. We talked about this a little bit, so I just want, like, if you had to put your money on a horse right now, Banner, you first, who or what could Rise of Skywalker be referring to?
I think it has to go back to the original prophecy that is mentioned in A New Hope, and then obviously is delved much deeper in Phantom Menace. I think it has to be something with Anakin's origin or Darth Vader. I think that it has to be something with that. That's the only way. The entire saga in the first 6 movies especially, and then in 7 and 8 less or so, all are about Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker and the battle between good and evil and light and dark. It has to be something with that family coming together and maybe even meeting in the middle and pulling like an Ahsoka Tano, like, hey, you guys Jedi are kind of fucked up, but so are the Sith. Like, we got to land somewhere in the middle. I don't know. I think avoided the
I'll just say
question.
I like your guess there. I think the only way that I won't like this is if they say that Rey has been a Skywalker, retcon her. I don't like what they did with her family, but that's what we did with her family. You know, like we can't fucking change it now. It's done. And so as long as they don't say that Rey is, oh, what's that? Actually a Skywalker.
I forgot about that too.
No, her family's no one.
They
Isn't that
shit
cool?
on everything that
'Cause
Force
you-
Awakens opened the
Geiger,
door to. I forgot about that.
You know how you thought they were gonna be someone, but they're
Yeah.
not. That's the fucking. As long as it's not something with her, I don't. Any of the other ones you presented, I don't think. I think if done correctly, I will not be upset with. Geiger, what do you think? Who or
I
what?
think all the Skywalkers are dead. I think Luke. I mean, Luke's obviously dead. Anakin's dead. I think that the Last Jedi was true. There are no more Jedis. I think what Jedis are going to be called now are Skywalkers, and they're not going to be light. They're not going to be dark. They're going to be somewhere in the middle, like Banner says. I don't think it's a person. I think it's more like a title.
Yeah, I'd actually heard that theory from someone else. I can't remember who, and I think that would be kind of fucking cool. I mean, basically name Jedi or whoever are the Force sensitive people after the family that like created or mastered the Force first, right?
Yeah, it's basically like a coach did really well, so we're going to name the floor after you.
Yeah, great analogy. All right, last question I had. And this will be very, very different, I think, from the three of us. So, Geiger, I'll go to you first. What do you need / want to see in this movie to right the ship here? Like, what, walking out of Rise of Skywalker, what is the thing that you need to have happen in this film for you to be like, all right, they fixed it?
I hate to say this because we're recording this and it'll be shoved down my throat if I'm wrong, but there's absolutely nothing they can fucking do to right the ship. Like I said, if I just watch this movie alone, which I'm going to do for my boy J.J. Abrams, I'm just going to watch this movie and I'll probably enjoy it. I'm like, that was a good movie. But when you hand me these three movies in there, they make no fucking sense because the second one shit on everything. Because there's so many things I think he's just going to be like, I know the second one did this, but I don't care. Rian Johnson fucked it up. That's his problem. I'm just trying to make a good movie. So I don't think there's anything they could do. They fucked it up so bad in the second. I mean, think about all the great trilogies and then just say the second one was the worst one and actually fucked up. Think about The Dark Knight was the worst one in the fucking trilogy. There's no way that trilogy would be any fucking good. The second one should be, the second or third one should be close to the first one, maybe even better than the other two. And the second one was absolutely fucking terrible. Like I said, I have not watched it since I went and saw it in theaters, and I cried myself to sleep for 2 weeks. So there's absolutely nothing they can fucking do. It's not Abrams' fault.
I actually remember, Geiger, first off, your wife fell asleep in the movie.
And then left in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's true. I thought she was leaving.
She's a Star Wars fan.
No, but you turned to me right after the manatee tit milking sequence, and I think you said much louder than you meant to, this is awful, right?
Yeah, I know. Like, I just wanted to make sure everyone's.
And I just started laughing. I was like, it kind of is. All right, Banner, how about you?
A lot of times when we see movies and it's about halfway through, I said, this better get good like right fucking now because I'm about to be lost. Like, this isn't that good.
It's very true. Happens far too often. I'm hoping it doesn't happen next Thursday. Banner, who or what? That's not the same question I wanted to ask. I wrote these down. I still can't fucking read them right. What do you need or want to see in this movie to fix things for you after Last Jedi?
I'm kind of in the same boat as Geiger. I don't know that they can, but I'm not. I want to be wrong. I'm gonna say they can't. There's nothing they can do that's gonna fix this. I'll probably enjoy it. I hope I enjoy it, but I don't know if there's anything specific that I can think of that can fix it. I do have faith that J.J. Abrams is going to do... He's going to pull what Howard did with Solo and go, look, this is fucking bad. Let me try and do what I can with it. Abrams is taking that on a franchise level and saying, yeah, Rian Johnson fucked it up. I'm going to do what I can. And I don't know. I'm so fucking out on it. Do you guys? April fucking sucks. Do you think there's any way
they're just playing us for a fool? Like, they didn't go through with the Jar Jar thing, but if they did, everyone would be like, dude, I did not fucking see that coming. Do you think there's any way that they made The Last Jedi suck so fucking bad because they're setting up something that no one is just seeing?
I don't.
I don't
either. That's what pisses me.
And I wish
if it does happen, I'll tip my cap and be like, that is brilliant.
Guys, April
I just don't
sucks.
see it.
We got this shitty trailer, and we have to have this conversation. Endgame is coming out, and Game of Thrones is coming to an end. Can it get much worse than this?
all those things sound awesome. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, Thrones is, I mean,
Eh,
kicking in.
Yeah,
good.
but it's gonna
I mean,
be an end. Like I
Endgame
want
is
more.
yeah,
the
but it's
end
not
of-
Lost where it's like dragging on. Like Jesus Christ, either you're in purgatory or not. Get this
All right,
over with.
Fine, I
Yeah,
stand
Endgame
corrected.
is the end of a 22 movie arc, and we finally get
Yeah,
some Star Wars
game looks
footage.
fun too.
The fuck out of here.
All right,
Um,
you're right. You talked
I
me
love
into
you
it.
though.
You talked me into it.
So the only thing I'll say, Banner, I think I pretty much agree with you. The thing that I just need or really want from this movie is for JJ to give us a conclusion if he can somehow do it without having to retcon or change what Rian Johnson did. Because then I think it'll just be too obvious. And I would imagine that the conclusion they have or whatever they're focusing on is surrounding that, because I can't imagine JJ would have taken this job if Chris Terrio's idea for the script was changing something that Rian Johnson did. That just seems, I don't know, like Geiger said, it's just like, dude, no one is going to be fooled by that. No one's going to think that was the fucking plan all along. Like, and I know it's an uphill battle, dude. Find some way to end this trilogy, and then JJ says that he is kind of tying up storylines from all the originals as well. Just find something you can focus on, some character maybe that we aren't thinking about or have sort of forgotten about, some way to do this without having to retread the ground that Rian Johnson paved.
guys, I will freak out if Qui-Gon comes back.
That's the thing. I think they're just gonna WWE it, just bring back everyone. It doesn't make sense story wise, but NWO, like everyone that's old as fuck that shouldn't even be acting anymore. Billy D. Williams looks horrible, by the way. I'm glad that he's back, but he doesn't look very good.
Put on a few pounds.
What you expect?
Fuck.
Over yourself. All right. Any last thoughts on Star Wars, Banner?
No.
No.
Geiger.
No.
We sound real fucking excited for this. We love Star Wars, guys, I promise. Go listen to our movie commentaries as proof. All right, on to the second part of our show, our protein shake, where we go around and talk about what is in our cup, a.k.a. what have we watched lately. Geiger, I'll go to you first. I actually have a fairly decent week this week. I'll go to you first, and maybe we watched something the same. I'm not sure. What'd you see this past week-ish?
I'm just going to talk about one thing. I always try to do something current, and I haven't really watched anything current on Netflix or, well, HBO. I watched Game of Thrones, but we're getting to that in a different episode. But can I just talk really quickly about the fucking Masters this weekend, which honestly...
I knew you were going to do this, and I'm not at all...
Probably, I want to bring this up because I think that I'm fucking dead on true on this. I think it's the greatest sports achievement ever. I think the only one that is close to it that I could maybe be argued out of Tiger winning the Masters is when Ali set out his prime because he didn't want to go to Vietnam and then fucking came back when George Foreman was like 22 and was knocking out everyone, and Ali wasn't, I mean, he was old, wasn't as quick, wasn't as powerful, and he found a way to fucking beat him by rope-a-doping him at the Rumble in the Jungle. What Tiger did, I mean, when he came into golf, he was a fucking athlete against golfers. Now, I mean, look at the leaderboard, man. I mean, Brooks Koepka, who's as big as Luke Kinkley, fucking Dustin Johnson, who could be a small forward in the NBA, and he comes back after all that back surgery. I mean, I know everything about the divorcing his wife and stuff went down to him, but the dude could hardly walk like twice after back surgery. Comes back, had the chipping yips, had a bunch of swing problems, a bunch of shit saying he lost his head, he's never going to be back, and now he wins the most important tournament. I don't care if you're in Europe. It's the most important tournament in golf is the Masters. And wins it pretty convincingly, where he needed to just bogey 18 to fucking win it. And it was I played golf Sunday morning because I wanted to watch all the Masters, and then they had to tee off early because of weather. So I caught the
Which
last.
actually worked out way better for me, so I'm glad that happened.
Yeah, I watched it on my tablet while I was playing golf, but I went into the clubhouse of the course I was playing, and there was 40 people watching it. And when he tapped in to win, everyone started clapping. I've never seen that before, fucking ever. He is the Ali, the Jordan of our generation, and I thought it didn't get you teary-eyed because I remember him hugging his dad in '97, and then now he's hugging his son, has come full circle. I don't care if you love or hate the guy, he's been through a lot, and for him to it's very inspiring, I think. If you don't think you can do something in your life, I mean, I know he's the best golfer in the world, but he wasn't. He lost all of it, and then he came back, and now he is again. It's fucking awesome, man. It was insane to watch, and I'll always remember where I was. Me and my dad were watching it at this golf course that we play at a lot. But Banner, I know you're a golf fan. Jeff, I think you caught it some, but I don't know what you guys thought about it. But I thought it was the most magical thing I've seen in sports. And I've seen my teams win World Series and Super Bowls and stuff, but it's the most magical thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, some people have an issue with the quote unquote redemption story because of like what his fall came from. But regardless, man, like he was a broken man and like he made a lot of mistakes, sure, but he is probably the greatest athlete of that, at least that I've seen since I've been alive. I would put him ahead of Jordan, just considering how difficult it is to win in golf. So to see him, whether you love him or hate him too, he's appointment television, right? Like who, when they knew he was in the final grouping on Sunday, wasn't fucking interested in the Masters? You know,
I canceled my plans when I saw that they moved the tee times up. I was
exactly.
like, yeah, I'm staying home and I'm watching this.
And I was glad to see him win. I think it was fun for me. It was good for the sport.
Well, and here's the thing too. It wasn't easy for him. He was what, 3 strokes back going into Sunday?
Yeah, Molinari kind of fell apart.
Yeah, he was
an extremely solid player.
Yeah, he did have a pretty bad back 9, but that's not like, it wasn't like he won by 5 strokes.
No.
He battled back, and it was incredible. You have everybody in the world rooting for you, and probably there is a coalition out there that are like, fuck Tiger, I hope he doesn't do it. He has admitted to every single one of his faults. All the stuff that went down with him and his wife and getting the DUI, and go look at that mugshot. He's pretty.
Go look at the Waffle House waitress. We love talking about
The thing is, too, that mugshot, I mean, if you really read it, the things that he was fucked up on were painkillers because he just got back surgery.
Right.
And, like, he couldn't find anyone to drive him, and he needed, like, some more medication or something. So it wasn't like he's not a drug addict or anything. And playing golf a lot and talking to a bunch of random people I get paired with and talking to my friends, I've only met one person in the last 3 years that actually hates Tiger. Most people I talk to love him. It's not like LeBron where it's split down the middle.
Tiger probably fucked that guy's wife, so he's like biased too.
Yeah, if you got a problem with that, go look up the chicks that he's touched, and we'll see if you could have said no to that. Besides the Waffle House waitress, they're all pretty hot.
And even then.
Yeah. But it was cool, man. It almost brought like a tear to your eye to like watch it, because I'm like, damn, man, you feel for that guy, especially if you ever played the game of golf, man. It's a fucking tough game.
And hey,
anything in life that you could do really good, and then one day you just can't, and
let's tie it back into movies. Now that the career's gone full circle, in 10 years, Michael B. Jordan as Tiger in the biopic.
It's gotta be a movie, man. That Masters
Michael B. Jordan in 10 years, book it. Let's just give him the Oscar now.
Too.
How sick would that be, dude? And it shows everything.
Be like ruling the world then.
Use the de-aging technology in the beginning. His dad dies, the sex addiction, and then he comes back and wins a fucking Masters. It's
insane. It could be a porno. It could be
what?
All right.
It could be like Motley Crue The Dirt, where they actually show all the sex scenes. That'd be cool.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
You need to work in Hollywood. Is that all you watched? Or you watch anything else?
That's all I wanted to talk about. It was like the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen.
No, I agree. Even though we're a movie podcast, that has to be discussed.
We show respect when it's deserved.
Plus, I tied it in a movie. So if you're at home, you're like, "Why did you fuck you? Come on, man. I didn't mean that. Don't unsubscribe. Jesus, relax." All right, Banner. Anything you watched? I'm hoping you got watched something that I watched last week. But,
yeah, we've got a couple crossovers here. Pretty light week for me, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Have kind of a busy week. Watched Aquaman. Not gonna lie, took me 3 times to get through it, guys. It's rough. Really fucking rough.
Now Geiger is the only other one on the pod who's seen it. So why was it rough? And let's see if Geiger.
The story, the writing was bad. The story was weird. Honestly, I thought the CGI and like when they were underwater wasn't good. I was just disappointed all the way around. Momoa, dude, he could have done better.
Was he like overly funny? Was that the problem?
No, he wasn't. Like, I don't know. It was almost like he mailed it in. Like, he's like, I'm getting a big fat paycheck, so whatevs.
How was Black Manta?
It was fine. I mean,
but he didn't need to be in the story.
But he didn't need to be in it at all.
Not even the villain.
Yeah, he was honestly just there, and they're like,
Kind
"Hey,
of
we're gonna have
interesting,
a cool
Yeah,
action
it really was.
fight scene," and then he just disappears.
But then they bring him back in like the post-credit scene, right?
I didn't even make it to that. I was so done. I was so happy
Yeah.
to see him roll. I just fucking left.
They're like, wouldn't it be cool to see this guy as a villain? You're like, I thought that was this fucking movie.
I was with you on that, Banner, just because James Wan and Jason Momoa, I just thought it'd be a little darker, but by the time they actually did make that movie after BVS and Justice League, they're like, we got to do this as poppy as shit. And I love when DC is like, we got a great comic book movie. We got a great comic book hero. Let's try to make it Thor. I'm like, why don't you just try to make an Aquaman movie? But yeah, I was kind of with you on that.
Seen Underwater too. Like that would have been really. I don't know, and I haven't seen it, so I should just shut the fuck up. But that could have been a really cool, like new ground to break.
Yeah.
I didn't like, and Guy, I don't know if you caught onto this when you saw it, but they like made their voices distorted when they were underwater.
Yeah.
Like, why? There's no fucking need. Like, just make
Like
it talk
T-Pain?
normal.
Kinda. And then wasn't Bubbles coming out too when they're talking?
Yeah, kinda. It was just, I don't know. It's just fucking
I liked
weird.
it better in, was it Justice League? Whenever they just have the bubble and they talk.
Yeah.
Mira,
I kind of like that.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
made
when-
fucking sense. Honestly, make it like the Gungan City. I would be totally cool with that.
I'm just kind of over DC, but obviously, again, another movie I was very excited about. Love Jason Momoa. Haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters. And totally, I could go watch it right now if I wanted to. But
It's
I
on
won't,
HBO
because
if you
it's
guys are interested, but you're fine. There's better things on HBO right now.
You're fine.
Banner, how many things do you have? Maybe we could just play tennis and go back and forth.
So I've got 4 things left. One of them is there's only one that you haven't seen. So watch Rampage, guys. It wasn't an N64 game. They like almost tried to make it like feely and like you like. I don't know. It wasn't the N64 game.
Could you buy The Rock as a zoologist?
No, not a fucking chance. But here's the thing: he was a zoologist that was also in the special forces.
What? That's
Yeah.
a natural career progression.
Yep.
Did he call an animal a some bitch at any point?
No, but he did say motherfuck.
He said the F word?
No, I said motherfuck.
Uh,
Yeah, and then they cut away. So.
was it bad enough for us to do a
No,
movie commentary
It wasn't,
on?
honestly.
Damn.
Yeah,
How much is Joe Manganiello in? No spoilers.
not very much.
It's disappointing.
Yeah, he wasn't in it near as much as I would have liked. And his character is actually pretty cool.
I loved the video game. I played it a shit ton as a kid. How many times and please tell me this is in it, do the monsters punch a helicopter?
Each one does it at least twice. And there
Oh,
and
fuck.
there was
'Cause
3
that's
of them.
all
so,
I did in that game.
Yeah, that part was well done.
My
It
brother
was
would
really
take
well
down the buildings. I was like, I'll fucking cover you, bruh. And I would just go punch all the fucking helicopters out of the sky.
How many times does Rock say "some bitch" in it?
He actually didn't. I was disappointed.
What?
Yeah.
That got left. I guarantee you that's in a deleted scene.
Yeah, it's on the cutting room floor for sure.
Yeah.
So
Hang on, let me get a couple because I saw some you didn't see, and then we can talk about.
Okay, perfect.
So I rewatched Captain America: Civil War.
Great.
I know you did a few weeks ago. Yeah, probably a few weeks ago as you're part of your MCU roundabout that you do before a new movie. And every time I rewatch these, I was trying to pick up on something else. And just like with Infinity War, when I sort of realized that the main story arc is Scarlet Witch and Vision, this movie has way more Black Panther, and he's a way bigger part of the story than I remembered. Like, obviously, Cap and Bucky are sort of the focal point, and Cap's relationship with Tony as a result of that. But T'Chaka dying is the whole movie, basically. Like, that's what sets everything off.
And
Black
you don't
Panther's
have the Black Panther movie without that storyline.
correct. And Black Panther's ultimate empathy for Baron Zemo and the speech he gives him at the end when Zemo tries to kill himself, like, that's a story in and of itself. Like, this is like Black Panther 0.5 almost, which I thought was really, really cool. And the CGI is a little, like, felt a little sped up, especially at some points in the airport scene. But that end scene where they're in, where are they at, like fucking Siberia or wherever?
Yeah.
That whole thing is really, really cool. Like the shit with Tony where he's like, Tony, you, like, stop. It's not going to do anything. And he goes, I don't care. He killed my mom. That part, like that was Downey. He earned his bagel.
That and then when he said he's my friend, and he said
So was
so
I.
was I. That
You don't deserve that shield. My dad made that. That was fucking
and
powerful
then he
too.
fucking drops it, and he hasn't held it since.
That's right. And when he drops it, Cap's basically like, you know what? You're right. Like I fucked up. I'm sorry. Ugh. So that was good. Captain America: Civil War. Great on a rewatch. Another one I watched that was on. I think IFC. I don't know what the fuck it was on, but I watched the whole thing. I Love You, Man.
It's a great
Fucking hilarious, dude. J.K. Simmons is in this. Did anyone remember that?
I didn't. That's one of Thurman's favorite
What?
movies.
Someone's dad. Oh yeah, the dad.
Yeah. And Andy Samberg is Paul Rudd's gay brother.
Yeah, the gay personal trainer who's fucking hilarious. Yeah.
This movie is just so fucking good. The debate they have over the movie Chocolat, and he goes, "It's called chocolate. It's called Chocolat." It's incredible. And Jason Segel's Man Cave. I mean, who doesn't want one of those? But Paul Rudd, like all of us have a little bit of Paul Rudd in us when he's like, every time he answers his phone, he doesn't know how to talk. So he's like, "Sup, Magooch." I don't know why I called you that. We've all been there before. Banner, another one you and I watched together, so I'll get to that. Last one I watched that you and I cannot talk about together. That Thing You Do. Rewatched it, the 1996 movie with Tom Hanks and Liv Tyler.
It's been a minute.
Dude, this is a great fucking movie. Like, band origin story. It's obviously a fictitious band. Super catchy song. Takes place in the 60s. About their rise and fall. Getting famous too quickly. Great music. Just a fun, like, kind of charming movie. Tom Hanks directed it. And the reason I went back and watched it is because I was at the grocery store and That Thing You Do was playing on the speakers. I was like,
Really?
dude. Yeah, I was like, I want to fucking watch this movie again. And I went back and watched it. Geiger, have you ever seen it?
Yeah, Liv Tyler's hot as hell in it.
She is. But to me, it seems like the type of movie you would like. You love, like, period piece movies, and I think it's fairly accurate in terms of, like, why a lot of bands break up, like, creative differences. They don't have, like, the stuff you like where it's, like, the debauchery and the drug use and, like, the, you know, guys going off the deep end.
But Tom Hanks, too, just, like, kind of just did roles, not ones that would have to get Oscar buzz.
Exactly.
Captain.
Which he's great.
Yeah.
He's great in this role, dude, as their manager. And Steve Zahn as Lenny, fucking scene stealer, dude. He's incredible.
What happened to that guy, dude? He used to be great. I was talking with Cycly the other day. Do you guys remember the Into the Wilderness? Is that what it's called? No, Strange Wilderness.
Strange Wilderness, yeah.
Dude, that movie was fucking hilarious.
It was pretty good. I mean, great cast. I just don't like how Jonah Hill's character was like, so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Justin Long's funny in it, though. How he gets those eyeballs tattooed on his eyelids, so
Yeah.
when he sleeps, it looks like he's awake. So That Thing You Do, highly recommend it. I raved about it on our Letterboxd review. All right, sorry, Banner, back to you.
All right, so me and the wife, we've been watching The Act on Hulu. If you guys haven't heard about this, this is the docu-series, but it's fictitious, but it's real. What's it called? I don't even know how it's called.
It's just based on a true story.
It's like a biopic, but it's a series on Hulu. Basically, this girl's mom...
sorry to interrupt, but they have not released all of it yet, right?
No,
so you
they
can't
have
watch
not.
start to
They
finish.
actually, I think there's a new episode that at the time of recording this released last night that I haven't watched, but we've been watching that. Very interesting story. Basically, this chick's mom, from birth, she has Hopkins disease by proxy, so she thinks that her daughter is always sick, and it's from Springfield, Missouri, and somehow she duped tons of doctors, the dad, like all these fucking people into convincing them.
Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish, like they got a Habitat for Humanity house, like all kinds of crazy shit.
Trips to Disney World.
Yeah.
Like,
anything you can think of, like medical bills paid, like free food, everything. It's a huge, basically fraud on every level, because she convinced them that her daughter was sick, had all kinds of diseases. They put a feeding tube in this poor girl, and the only thing that's actually wrong with her is she has a lazy eye. And this is the series about that. So in our research, going, man, this is kind of a crazy story. There's a Dateline on it that we've seen. HBO, and I know Cycle.
the funny thing is, that's not even the crazy ending.
No, that's not the crazy ending. Like,
do you just want to segue this into?
Yes, I'm going right into HBO has a documentary on it called "Mommy Dead and Dearest." And it's the true story of all of this. What's the craziest thing is this chick.
Sorry, talk about great planning. I watched that at your recommendation, so I'm ready to fucking go.
Yeah, and basically, this girl started to realize, like, my mom is batshit crazy. She got on Facebook, met another batshit crazy dude, and they
on a Christian dating
site, and they planned to kill her mom, and he came from Wisconsin and killed her mom, stabbed her like 20 times. Then they kind of like ran off together and then got caught because they didn't do a very good job. But just a crazy story. This chick is pled guilty. She's got 10 years in prison, and she's like, this isn't prison, this is freedom.
Yeah, the guy got life. So the interesting thing, Brian, I actually watched have you seen the Dateline series also?
Yes.
Okay, so I haven't seen the act, but I've seen the Dateline series and Mommy Dead Dearest, the documentary. And those are really nice companion pieces because the Dateline series, which actually might have aired before the trial, if I remember right. But the Dateline series focuses way more on the mom, Dee Dee, and she's a sociopath. She's certifiably insane.
Absolutely batshit crazy.
But the Dateline series focuses almost exclusively on her deception of people, how she pulled all that off, who all she duped, if anyone else was complicit. Like, were these doctors just negligent when they were diagnosing, what's the fucking daughter's name? Ruby?
Gypsy Rose.
Gypsy, yeah.
Gypsy
were the
Rose
doctors
Blanchard,
negligent?
if you guys are interested.
Right. Yeah, so the Dateline is just really about how the mom tricked everyone, and then the documentary, I think the first 10 minutes is about the mom tricking people, and then the rest of it is about, like, why she got murdered. So they're actually really good companion pieces to each other. And yeah, it's just a crazy fucking story, man. This woman lied for attention, had this plan set out in motion probably for like 15, 20 years, and it ends with her getting killed by some dude that her daughter met on the internet just because she was a 19-year-old girl who was horny because she'd been told to pretend she was paralyzed her whole life and couldn't leave the house.
Well, and here's the other thing, too, that's crazy. She didn't know what her birthday was. Like, she doctored medical records and birth certificates, and like literally Gypsy Rose, the girl that planned to kill her mom, the daughter, she literally had no idea how old she was. She was like 20 and thought she was 15. It's just a fucking insane story. I highly recommend, like Jeff said, seeing the Dateline and then going into the HBO documentary. They're doing a really good job in the act. Obviously, it hasn't concluded yet, but I highly suggest that on Hulu. I think we can link a Hulu subscription in the description. If we can, we will.
Good idea.
One last thing on that. Her voice, though, in real life and in the show, super fucking annoying. So
almost as annoying as that. I don't want to segue, but that chick from The Inventors.
We're like on the same fucking page because I also watched The Inventor on your recommendation from last week. Again, insane, like fraud and just how do you dupe that many people? How do you?
I think I'll let Geiger jump in real quick. I think he would appreciate it because he loves a good bullshit artist. Like, she's selling the vision, Banner. Okay, never mind the fact that none of her fucking technology works.
I mean, I'm just interested in people that can just get other people to just blindly give them money. I think that's a skill. Sometimes
for sure.
People use it for, well, not sometimes. Most of the time, people use it for bad. But it's a very unique skill that I like to watch, like somebody shooting a basket or hitting a baseball or something like that.
That's a great point. Like, it is an art.
It's impressive. It really is. Here's the thing. I think you compared this chick, and I don't fucking remember her name either, Elizabeth Holmes, to what's the dude that did the Fire Festival?
Billy McFarland.
Yeah. He was
the great
good.
Billy McFarland.
He was good. Here's the thing. He convinced stupid people to give him money. This chick convinced like the Secretary of State to give her money.
I think the only difference in their two stories is Billy McFarland's story ended before hers because hers is going to end the same way.
It is 100%. I don't think they've gone to trial, but she's got like 9 counts of wire fraud.
So what did you think about the part where that Indian dude that used to work at Apple, who she's fucking pops into the documentary?
Just super weird. And then she fires him. Like, they break up and she's like, oh, you're fired now.
Well, she's married to Theranos, Banner.
My favorite part, honestly, was What's your favorite sound from Star Wars?
Oh no, they said, what does Yoda sound like?
Oh yeah,
and
that's
she
what it
goes, do or do not, there is no try. I'm like, and I paused the documentary. I got so mad. I go, that's what he fucking says, not what he sounds like. They're trying to get you to do a Yoda impression. Just fucking do it. And she wouldn't do it.
Again, I recommend it. Great story, fun watch. Little long for a documentary, but
Yes,
it was
2
worth it.
hours stuff. But Geiger, I think if you can do it in like 2 sittings, you'll enjoy it. Love good bullshit artist.
That's all.
Banner, what else?
That's it.
Well, you're lying because we watched The Meg
Oh, yeah.
for this podcast.
I
Check out our movie.
I didn't realize we were teasing that.
It needs to be said. Let's not lie to people.
You're right.
Check out our movie commentary coming soon. The Meg, probably very similar to Rampage. Not quite bad enough for me. And that's what I said in our Letterboxd review. I wanted it to be worse. But we did fall in love with Lee Bing Bing.
Bing, bing, bing. That's what's up.
Yeah, you kept racistly calling her that. That's not her name. And also, when it comes out, we started a counter of how many times we compared the movie to Star Wars Episode 1. And I still have it on the piece of paper. I won't tell you what it was, but probably take the over. Because we start live tallying it on the commentary, which gets pretty interesting, especially because Cycly's on there, and he's a sick fuck and is obsessed with the Gungans.
Was your favorite scene when Statham was just like, no, I'm not coming back. I don't do that anymore. They're like, please? Like, okay, I'll come back for one more.
The best part, Geiger, I wish you were on. He comes out of retirement to rescue his ex-wife. 5 minutes into getting on the rig, he meets this hot Asian chick. So after he rescues his ex-wife, he just fucking ignores her the rest of the movie. I'm like, that's why he fucking came out of retirement. And now he's like, isn't even interested in her. They talk like one other time.
It's awesome.
So
But
fucking...
when they talk that one other time, they're also talking with the hot Asian chick's daughter.
Yeah, who's like trying to set him up with her mom. It's super fucking weird. I wouldn't even call it a love triangle because he's like, when he talks to his ex-wife, he's like, so has the Asian chick said anything about me? He's like asking about the other girl.
It's like a love line.
Ooh, that's good.
Thank you.
All right, guys, no time for our question and answer segment today. Do you even lift, bruh? So we'll just have to save that for next time. Before we let the people go, anything you want to close with, Matt Geiger?
No.
Why do you sound like someone just made you watch The Last Jedi again?
I'm sorry. I'm writing Game of Thrones notes.
Oh shit! Yeah, check out our Game of Thrones review.
I'm getting ready.
Will this drop before Game of Thrones, Banner? Yeah, it will, right?
Yeah, it will. It will. Game of Thrones will drop in a couple days.
Well, that's a nice little tease for it then.
Haha.
Tickle your
Banner,
balls.
what do you want to leave the people with?
I don't know. Just spade New Year dogs.
Okay. Does Drew Carey still say that when he like closes out The Price is Right?
No, I think he like did his own thing because he's like, I can't steal Bob Barker's thing.
So
I have
how many
no shame.
fucking unwanted pets are now going to be brought into the world?
I mean, more than Bob Barker would like. Is he alive
Zach.
still?
I was wondering that too. Geiger's Bob Barker alive?
Yeah, he's alive.
Cool.
Hell
He's
yeah.
not doing very well.
No, you know what?
You
I
guys really care.
I was gonna say last time we posted this, we were like, as of this recording, because God forbid, but that could not be the case by the time this finishes buffering onto YouTube.
What if we lose Betty White and Bob Barker like in the same week?
He's only 95. He was born in 1923.
My God.
He's
On that note, for the mad scientist Brian Banner and our enforcer in the paint, Matt Geiger, I'm the mayor, Jeff Hornacek, and we are the Bro Force Squad podcast. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Bro Force Squad. Check out all of our movie reviews on letterboxd.com. Just search Bro Force Squad, 3 words. Type in those same 3 words on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. And if you could subscribe to us there, we would appreciate it. And check out everything that we do on our website at broforcesquad.com. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Guys, Bob Barker's ain't looking too good. I don't know if he'll be alive when this drops.
I don't know if I want
Tomorrow.
to look. Does he look better or worse than the Crypt Keeper?